You have this connection between your oral and your gut, and it's called the oral gut axis. So, the oral gut axis is basically a connection, and if it comes imbalanced, right, your oral microbiome can lead to what's called gut dysbiosis. And that's just a fancy word for, your bacterial gut imbalance, which leads to digestive and inflammatory disorders.
Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your host, Carly. So, today we're going to be exploring the connection between our mouth, gut, and mind. So, let's
Yeah.
just jump right into it. Fun fact of the day. All right. Did you know that we have about 20 billion bacterias in our mouth? And our mouths produce about 1 liter of saliva a day. So, really think about what you're swallowing,
Ugh,
right?
I literally just swallowed hard. It really grosses me out the more I think about this whole
Yeah.
system and how it works. It's pretty
Yeah. It's
nasty.
pretty wild.
Ugh.
And yeah, we're going to show you the good and bad of all of it. So, I mean, don't be too scared. I mean, 20 billion bacteria, that sounds pretty terrifying, right? But there is good bacteria. So it's not all horrible.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll get into the bad bacteria later and like how to kind of go about that. But let's start with just some basic oral hygiene.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys all know you have to brush your teeth, but I'm going to go
Yep.
through a list of daily what is ideal and what will be the best for your mouth and your oral care. So, number one, you need to brush your teeth twice a day, even
Yeah.
3 times. With my little ones, our dentist suggests 3 times, maybe after school when they come home too, or after they have a snack. So I try to, obviously just get the 2 in, but if we can do 3, that'd be ideal. Do you guys are your kids? My kids hate brushing their teeth.
But yeah, it's a constant like thing. But funny that we did this episode today because my friend literally just told me yesterday about this awesome app that she got for her kids. It's called Hum Kids. It's from Colgate. So you download the app, you get the toothbrush. It's basically a game for kids, but
Mm-hmm.
this is actually a really cool one because I haven't gotten it yet because I just learned about it yesterday, but I'm intrigued because her kids, she has 2 boys like me, pretty close in age, and they beg her to brush their teeth because it's fun. You, like, go along with the app, you follow it, and I mean, that's one game, yeah, I'm all for, and I will encourage that night and day, you
Yeah,
know?
I love that. We're always trying okay, we have 3 different toothbrushes going. What color do you want today? What kind of toothpaste do you want today? Try to
Yeah.
make it fun.
Actually just updated our toothbrush. Well, I
Oh,
didn't, my husband did. And it's funny because the first night we did it, like I mean, your doctor says like, yes, the electric toothbrushes are the best, right? I
correct.
always kind of had like a regular one for a
Mhm.
while, but my husband bought this like Aquasonic, I don't even know what it is. It was like such an experience the first time we did it. Like my whole body was like
Yeah,
vibrating.
it kinda tickles, right?
It's powerful. If Tim the Toolman Taylor made a toothbrush, it's this because it's,
Yeah.
like, just ultra powered, like, like, the craziest toothbrush you could
Yeah.
like, it was just insane. I was like, "I've never not even at the dentist have I ever felt this intense mouth clean," you know?
Ooh,
But it really did make a big difference, and
okay.
so, truly, invest in a good toothbrush, like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so important. It's so important.
Yeah, I agree with you there for sure. Um, so floss daily. Floss, floss, floss. Get every little bit of debris you can out in between your teeth. Even at my work, we keep those little handheld little dental flossers just in between food, but use mouthwash. I use a very clean, has oregano and clove. It's not maybe the best
Mhm.
tasting, but it's very clean. It's made of coconut oil. I really like that one. Eat a balanced diet. Avoid sugary food, sugary drinks, even coffee. It can erode the enamel. So you have to keep your teeth clean from all that especially after you have something sugary. Stay hydrated. That helps keep your saliva production up, which does help protect your teeth as well. So you don't want dry mouth.
Mhm.
Visit your dentist 2 times a year. Use a mouth guard if you're someone who grinds their teeth like at night or puts a lot of pressure on their teeth. We don't want your teeth to be cracked. Um, tongue scraping. Do you scrape your tongue?
Oh, always.
Yeah,
Always.
I know. Me too. If I love it. I think it's great. I love scraping my tongue, but I've been using a plastic tongue scraper
Oh, me
and
too.
I just heard like obviously that's not good. You need to use a metal one. And like a metal one would definitely scrape more off your tongue.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's
makes so
going on
much
my
more
list.
sense. So we have
Yeah.
to Amazon those like today. And
Cart.
then number 9, oil pulling.
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it. So this is what we're really excited to talk about. I mean, everyone knows how to freaking brush their teeth and do
of
all the
course.
things, right? But oil pulling, guys, like, ah, this is something that we've been doing. I mean, you started what at 17. I've been doing it for a few years, but like we kind of went back and forth. It's hard. It's a hard practice to really get into daily. I'm not there yet, but the benefits, I mean, that's the goal, right? To get to the daily practice of it. But yeah, this is something that we've been doing for like over a year now, and it's super beneficial. Like it's just so cool. So Emily, start us off with this oil pulling because I
Okay.
love
I know.
it.
It is a really cool thing. So
Hmm.
yes, I first heard about it, I don't know, probably 20 years ago, from a woman I worked with. She worked at a naturopathic pharmacy and she was like, "Oh, you need to start doing oil pulling." I'm like, "What is that?" So basically what it is, it's an ancient Ayurvedic practice and you are putting oil into your mouth and you're swishing it around and pulling it in and out of like the teeth. So a little bit like mouthwash, if you can, picture that, but you're going to be doing it for longer. And you really want to try and get it, like I said, like in and out. I mean, you could kind of, I like want to do it right now in my mouth
Yeah.
to explain it, but you're basically swishing it around. Obviously, it's a thicker consistency than mouthwash because it's an oil.
Hmm.
But you're going to do it ideally for like 10 to 20 minutes, which is a lot. I mean, I think if you could start with 5 minutes and work your way up, or like one day maybe you get to do it for 10, maybe one day it's only 4 minutes, but you're still doing something to like get what I'll explain, like all the bad shit out of your mouth.
Yeah. Now, okay, you might be like 20 minutes. I don't have 20 minutes to do this. And
Yes.
why do I want to? Right.
Yes.
When I first started doing it, I started with 5,
Mhm.
and then the next day or 2 days later, I would be at 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, you know what? That really wasn't that bad." So then I would change my timer and do another 5 minutes. All of a sudden, you gotta kinda distract yourself, right? So I was,
Yes.
like, going through my to-do list, my whatever, just, like, brain dumping, doing my thing, and then all of a sudden 10 minutes went off, and I was like, well, I'm still kind of in the middle of this project, so I think I could keep going. And then before you know, it's 20 minutes and you're like, that really wasn't that bad. If you
Yeah.
have a project lined up, like when is it easiest for you to do it for 20 minutes?
I mean, I've found for me while I'm in the shower. So I
Oh yeah.
might start a couple minutes before I get in, and then the whole time I'm in the shower, I'm doing the oil pulling. So if I'm not
Hmm.
washing my hair, maybe it's just 10 minutes. Because you really can't talk like while
Yeah.
you're doing it. So
Yeah.
you can't like talk to your kids or,
Yeah. You have to kind of be in your own zone.
yeah. So I do it in the shower. I think that's easiest for me. I'm distracted because I'm shaving my legs and washing my hair, whatever. And that just seems to be the best time for me. But with that, when you're done, you also can't spit it down the drain. So
Yeah.
don't take a shower and then be like, okay, I've done it long enough. I'm going to spit this oil out down my drain because it can cause clogging in your sink. So you also don't want to spit it in the shower.
Yeah. It needs to go in the garbage, like a tissue.
Garbage, yep,
Yeah.
yep, paper towel, tissue, something like that. But you were saying too, you want it to look kind of milky and whitish.
Yeah. When you spit it out, that's when you know that you got a lot of bacteria out, is when it's that milky white color, uh, and the consistency. And ugh,
It's so
it's
gross. That's
it's
so
so gross.
gross.
It's
But
so
I
gross.
it's so gross. Ideally, first thing in the morning is when they suggest you do it because you're sleeping, you're fasting, and we want all that nasty bacteria to come out before you start eating and drinking.
Yeah.
So, I know a ton of people they brush their teeth first thing before they even drink any water. But this is to also remove all that gunk out of your whole entire mouth. I don't typically do it first thing in the morning because with my morning routine, I'm gonna have to get up at like 4:30 to oil
I
pull.
know.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, do it when you can.
Yeah,
You know?
like I said, like, we're not up to daily yet, so what I've been trying to do is really on the weekends
Mm,
because I can sleep in a little bit more, we're not stressing to get to school, my
yeah.
husband's there to help with breakfast or questions or whatever, and, it's just easier as with kids, especially with kids, it's easier on the weekends for me
Yeah.
to just get that, like, 15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly. So daily is ideal, but even 3 to 4 times a week, the results are incredible. I mean, even if you could do it once a week though, even Sunday, Saturday
Yeah,
morning, whatever.
yeah. And so there was a little bit of talk, like, I'm sure you're like, what are the side effects of this, right? There can be, I mean, you're using your jaw and your cheeks and your tongue and everything
Mhm.
to kind of do this vigorous movement for a good 20 minutes. So you can get a little bit of jaw pain in the beginning when you're not used to it. You
Mhm.
can maybe feel a little bit of a headache at first. Um, you definitely don't want to swallow. Do
No.
not. You
Ugh.
need to spit it out. That if you swallow it, I mean, for one, think about all that bacteria you're now forcefully putting into your digestion. But it can cause a little bit of diarrhea and stomach ache if swallowed. But yeah, it's almost like doing face yoga. So I'm
Yeah.
like you're really moving it around and
Yeah, the cheeks can get a little sore or a little
yeah, yeah,
like fatigued.
yeah,
Sounds weird
yeah.
because when have your cheeks been tired, but
Well, when you laugh for
right.
like forever with your friend, like you're
Yes.
just like, and you're like, my cheeks hurt. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm smiling so bad. It's kind of like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, so oil pulling, the oils that you would typically use, you'd want to use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of either coconut, sesame, olive oil, or sunflower. Now, you give us a little bit of info on the sunflower and the sesame because I've never used that.
Okay. Neither have I. But the sesame oil is the traditional oil for the Ayurvedic process of it. So the benefits are that it reduces inflammation, the sesame oil reduces inflammation. It contains a lot of antioxidants. It does have a milder antibacterial effect than the coconut oil, but it's a strong flavor. Sesame oil is really strong. So that would be like what taste and, of course, thickness of each oil will play a part too in your mouth. So it's kind of going to be personal, I think.
Yeah.
Sunflower oil has a light flavor. I've never been cooked with it, so I don't know much about sunflower oil. But light flavor, it does have some antimicrobial benefits. But I found that it was used the most in the clinical trials for oil pulling. So I thought that was
Hmm.
interesting. So maybe we should
Yeah.
give sunflower oil a try.
It seems to be the doctors and scientists go to, but
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. What about the other
hmm.
ones?
So I was basically using coconut oil for
Same.
the majority
Yep.
because it tastes the best, I think.
Yeah.
But the coconut oil is loaded with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties, right? So it decreases inflammation like gum disease, all these things. It contains lauric acid, which kills the bacteria that leads to tooth decay. So right off the bat, I was starting that. But then I started researching the olive oil root. And the olive oil is high in antibacterial properties, and particularly this bacterium, Helicobacter pylori. And this is a bacterium that causes ulcers and stomach cancer.
Oh.
And me, I mean, a couple years ago, I got a stomach ulcer from stress. Yeah, it and it just flares up every once in a while. So I was like, oh, interesting. I'm gonna start doing the olive oil so that it kind of helps with that. And another thing with the olive oil is it helps to prevent any dry mouth. So if you
Mm.
have dry mouth, it helps with that as well. It's rich in polyphenols and it's thicker. So in turn, it kind of helps with anti-inflammatory, properties too. So I haven't done it yet. I'm still a little trepidatious about putting the olive oil in my mouth, but I'm doing that this weekend because after I learned all this stuff about the ulcers, yeah, I'm adding that one to my list.
You have to. You have to give it a try.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think the coconut oil would be the best to first try
Yeah.
because
Yep,
it's
for sure.
just it's lighter, it's like a thinner when it melts in your mouth and, kinda tastes like
Yeah.
coconut, so you get that little flavor in there. So, like you said, 1 or 2 tablespoons of oil, swish it in your mouth for as long as you can, up to 20 minutes. You're going to spit it in the trash or a paper towel, a napkin, tissue, and then rinse your mouth. So you can rinse with plain water, a little bit of salted water, and then you brush your teeth.
Mhm.
So
Now you're probably saying like, why am I gonna be doing this with oils?
right,
Like
like, what's the point?
what is the point? The oil pulling removes any of the lipophilic acids, which is your heavy metals, your environmental toxins, chemical and bacterial toxins. Okay. So, like we were saying, you have 20 billion bacteria in your mouth. The oil pulling really prevents some of the harmful ones from entering your digestion. And
Yeah,
by doing so, like if you have poor oral health, it leads to a higher risk in heart disease, stroke, cardiovascular disease. It can lead to lung infections, particularly pneumonia. There is a recent link that they've been kind of correlating with dementia, diabetes, and sepsis. So, I mean, when you think about oral health affecting the rest of your body, it kind of puts on a light bulb and you're like, okay, yeah, I do need to step up my game, you know?
yeah. Well, your mouth is the starting point of it all. It's a starting point of your digestive system. You put everything in your mouth. Your anything you drink, all your food, your vitamins, medications, like it really is crazy if you take a second and think about it,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk gut. You have this connection between your oral and your gut, and it's called the oral gut axis. If it comes imbalanced, right, your oral microbiome can lead to what's called gut dysbiosis. And that's just a fancy word for your bacterial gut imbalance, which leads to digestive and inflammatory disorders. Okay.
Mm, yeah.
So, digestion. Your poor oral health can lead to a decrease in the appropriate amount of chewing because say your teeth hurt, you're not going to chew it or emaciate it or break it down as much as you would or you could.
Okay.
It will also decrease the saliva production. And saliva is so important because it contains these enzymes and these antibacterial properties, which are so essential for both your oral and your gut health. Okay. So, without the appropriate amount of saliva, this in turn really screws up your digestion and your nutrient absorption. So, you could be
Mm,
eating really healthy foods, all these things, but if you're not producing the right amount of saliva, then you're not really absorbing the amount of nutrients that you possibly could, right?
that's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, it's pretty wild when it's just wild. Your
Yeah.
body is so insane. So along with digestion, the healthy microbiome helps with the immune system.
Yeah.
Your gut, so 70 to 80% of your immune system is from your gut. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I
It is
did,
pretty
but it is
wild.
wild. It is
It's so
wild.
it's pretty cool.
I don't know where I thought it was, but
Yeah. It's
it's
like that
there.
saying, you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything is connected to your stomach. You're so having this healthy microbiome, it basically trains your immune system, right, to decipher between the good and the bad, like invaders or substances. This will now prevent any autoimmune issues or chronic inflammation. Say you have gums that are inflamed. Now you're ingesting that, and that can lead to things like leaky gut syndrome, inflammation. The list goes on and on and on. Another thing that is affected by your gut is your hormone regulation. So we're talking estrogen, thyroid, among many others. Okay. But it's a big role in your hormone regulation. Um, Again, with the inflammation, it's a prevention to heart disease, cancer, arthritis, right? Because inflammation is like, it just causes all this junk in your body to kind of circulate.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just gross. So when you have this strong intestinal barrier, it pushes away all that shit, that harmful microbes. So your risks for infection go down, your risks for food sensitivities go down, and, overall, you just feel better and you move better. And another thing that helps is now your mind, you're thinking better, because along with the oral gut access, we have what is called the gut brain access, which is another connection. So, I mean, we've said it in previous episodes, everything is connected, right?
Yeah.
So when you have this healthy gut microbiome, you have these healthy productions of these neurotransmitters that are the serotonin, dopamine, GABA. This will in turn influence your mood, anxiety, cognitive function. So when we sat and really thought about the real connection between our mouth to our stomach to our brain, it goes back to childhood as brush your teeth, the importance of oral health. Well, I think we need to teach a little bit differently in schools the real connection between the three. Um, because I never really understood the full connection until, pretty recently, but it makes sense when you think about how everything is digested, broken down, distributed. It all starts with what you put in your mouth and how you take care of your mouth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what about you know, like I said, there's good and bad bacteria in your mouth, okay?
Yeah, of
You can't fight all the bad ones all the time. I mean,
course.
otherwise you'd be like stuck in the bathroom brushing your teeth all day long. So, you're going to end up having a little bit in your gut, but there's also other ways to kind of help that gut stay healthy. So, what are some foods that help with like retaining a healthy gut?
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of us are already doing some of these things just because they are healthy foods. But foods for healthy gut would be fermented. I feel like that's talked about so much right now. Fermented foods, having a little bit of that on your plate every day. And fermented foods give you probiotics. So we're talking kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, kefir, miso, certain yogurts, and then high fiber foods, which would give you the prebiotics. That would be bananas, onions, leeks, garlic, asparagus, oats, flax seeds, and then polyphenols, green tea, berries, cacao, cloves, and apples. And then crunchy fruits and vegetables. So carrots, apples again, celery, pears, broccoli, and then leafy greens and antioxidant foods. Spinach, kale, turmeric, ginger. So there's some herbs and stuff in there as well. But I was just thinking when you were saying, what's that saying? Like, what about, an apple a day keeps the doctor away?
Yeah,
Like
right?
when I eat an apple, I my teeth feel so clean.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, it's like really brushing, because
yeah.
you're, like, eating that crunch. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, these are a lot of healthy things. I'm sure we're all incorporating a lot of that. So we're already doing something good and not even maybe realizing the full potential of it.
Yeah. I mean, along with that list of foods too, like, say you're not into fermented foods, right? My husband actually started taking this pre and probiotic called Seed, and I did this, like, 2-week gut reset, and it's a 2-week process. But he takes it daily. I personally am obsessed with kombucha and, the things like that. So I don't really feel like I need to add in any additional pre or probiotics, but the 2-week kind of reset was a good thing to kind of add into my system just to see, I was just kind of experimenting a little bit. But he swears by it. He takes the pre and pro. It's all in one pill. So you're just taking this because he's not really into kombucha and, like, these other things, so that's a good way for him to get it in, but,
Right.
along with the foods, you wanna really lower your ultra processed, foods that you're consuming and your really high sugar foods because these promote inflammation, right?
Right.
And that's harmful for your bacterial growth, like, it causes the bad bacteria to kind of multiply and just like a fermenting ground for that. Also, you had said stay hydrated, right?
Yeah.
This supports your digestion, being hydrated, which I have also increased my
You
intake.
have upped it, and I am
I have.
proud. Yeah.
Yes, I've done really good.
Good girl.
But it really helps just promote a healthy mucosal lining in your gut. And like we were saying with the natural probiotics, all these things, really try and stay away from unnecessary antibiotics. I've seen it a million times in the ER. People come looking for antibiotics for the most minor things.
Mm,
You don't need to fill your body with antibiotics all the time. Not every single thing needs an antibiotic. Your body can naturally fight these things if you just let it ride it out, you know? But if for some reason you do need to take an antibiotic, there's no other way around it. Really, really add in a probiotic during the course and after,
yeah.
because the antibiotic kills both the good
Right.
and bad.
It can't tell the difference.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
just destroys everything, and now you're, like, 5 steps behind, which could, like we just said, it could in turn now cause anxiety or depression or all
Right.
these things because now you're not, kind of producing those awesome chemicals like the serotonin, the dopamine, the GABA because everything is destroyed. So really keep that in mind. If you're taking an antibiotic, you got to pair it with a probiotic to keep it kind of in balance. Um,
Good advice.
yeah. So, I mean, that's just like a wild connection,
It
right?
is. It is. And I think the oil
Right.
pulling, it just feels very clean. And so it's
Yeah.
just a good start to know that you're doing so many good things by doing that. Your mouth is clean, your gut is clean, and hopefully your mind is clean. Got the
Yeah.
good vibes everywhere.
Yep. Teeth, good gut, good vibes.
Yes, I love
Right?
it. Well, and with the oil pulling too, like just to recap, you are moisturizing the mouth, you are freshening your breath, you are helping your gums, like
Yeah.
possibly even whiten your teeth. Some people claim they feel like their teeth have gotten whiter from the pulling. I mean, it's just so beneficial all over.
Yeah.
But we hope that this made you think a little bit about how the body is all connected.
Yep. Mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
Now it's mouth, gut, brain.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. So, our quote today is by Dr. Michael Roizen. Hopefully, I said that correct. It says, "The mouth is the gateway to the body." And that it is.
Yeah, it is for sure. So hopefully you're brave enough to try the oil pulling. And if not, I totally get it. It's kind of weird, but really step up your game with your brushing, your flossing, all the things. Try to implement that, even just a few things off of the list to kind of help your gut microbes, and it will improve your sanity little by little. So who doesn't need that, right? But
Absolutely.
that's it for today. We hope you have a great week. And as always, keep it good.